Welcome back to the Dorian Show, everyone. And if you guys can't tell by my voice, that's right. The Rona has strike back. Okay, I am positive again after taking Paxlovid, the medication they were giving to old people and fat people. If you could tell right here, dude, 230, baby, 230. Anyway, so I was doing research on the Paxlovid while I was taking it, and they said about 2% of people had what they call a COVID rebound, meaning they get better, they test negative, and then a couple of days later they test positive, and that is exactly what happened to me. I uh, I took Paxlovid for like 5 days. I tested negative, and then 5 days later I tested positive again, and the symptoms weren't as bad. I know a lot of people like the Dr. Fauci said that his symptoms came back even worse. Not mine. I just had a cough and I was starting to get a runny nose, kind of like flu-like symptoms. Even though COVID is nothing like the flu, guys, it's nothing like it. But it came back. It really sucks. As you can see, I live in a closet now, and I haven't been able to leave this place in about 2 weeks. Um, I'm feeling actually better. Like as of right now, I tested negative 5 days after testing positive again. But my voice is still kind of fucked up, and I think people would be terrified if I went outside and interacted with them with this voice. But yeah, it's funny that I don't know why they just don't give people more Paxlovid. You know what I mean? A lot of the reasoning they were thinking that Paxlovid came back is because there's just not enough time taking it. So what happens when you take? You hear that, dude? That's the sign of death. So anyway, when you take Paxlovid, basically it weakens the virus. And then when you stop taking it, the virus, there's still lingering virus, and it come back. So I'm like, why don't you just give us 7 days instead of 5 days? And I'm not really sure why. Um, yeah, Paxlovid is not FDA approved so far, so they're just giving it to old people and the fats. They're saying it's because Paxlovid lowers the chance of people going to the hospital. Um, and that's nice. Or maybe they're just trying to give medication to kill all the fats and the old, huh? How about that? No, I think I'm fine. Hopefully. And it's also very funny how they determine who to give the medication to, because I mean, they I called my doctor, and I think I talked about this last week. I was just like, oh yeah, I have COVID, blah blah blah, and he was just like, I'm gonna give you medicine because you're obese. And at the time, I was just like, oh, thank you. But then I thought about it. I'm like, how fat is too fat, anyways? You know what I mean? I was recently. This is before I got the Rona. I was going to 7-Eleven. I was feeling fat. Have you guys ever felt like God was telling you not to do something and you're just going against Him? You know what I mean? Like there's a couple weeks ago, I felt like God was really trying to get me to live a better life and not be fat anymore, to be skinny. But I fought against it. But God's too powerful. Anyway, so I was going to 7-Elevens because I really, really, really like the taquitos, specifically the buffalo rollers. I don't know if you guys have ever had it. Um, at 7-Eleven, it's basically like a meat stick of made with chicken, buffalo rollers, and it's probably not good for you. It's like the size of a small hot dog, and it's about 200 calories, which is an insane amount of calories. Given I think each hot dog's probably like 120 calories, 90 to 120 calories. This is what happens when you're like fat and trying to lose weight. You just know the calorie count for a lot of things, and it doesn't stop you from making better decisions. You just know like you're killing yourself with the number of calories that you're putting in your mouth. Anyway, so I was like, I was fiending for some buffalo rollers, right? So I went to one 7-Eleven. Not a lot, not a lot in Northern California. They're all in Southern California. There's a 7-Eleven almost every block in LA, which is great if you ask me. But every 7-Eleven comes with a homeless person, which kind of sucks. But it's a price you got to pay if you want some buffalo rollers and nasty food in there, overpriced food. Anyway, so I drove like 10 minutes to go to 7-Eleven because I was fiending for some buffalo rollers, and they didn't have any. They ran out. There was one left, and the guy before me bought it. I was like, damn it, that guy! Oh my god! Never had such like hateful thoughts in my mind against the guy. I don't even know him. He's probably a great man. Anyway, I could take that as a sign from God, right? I'll just be like, yo, just relax. Just go home. Don't eat like 600 calories. Because I don't just get one, I get like 3 of them, okay? But I was like, okay, I should probably listen to God about this, because I think God's talking to me. But then I was like, no, I think I'm gonna go hit up another 7-Eleven, and that's how this is like a fat guy issue, so I drove 10 minutes further away to another 7-Eleven, and guess what? They were out of the buffalo rollers as well. They didn't have shit in this 7-Eleven, man. This is like the worst 7-Eleven I've ever been to in my life. And I was like, oh, God, this is it. I wasn't meant to have this delicious buffalo roller. So I just walked out there with my head down, dejected. I always find it weird, like if you ever go into like a convenience, not even like a supermarket, because there are times when I go into a supermarket, I come out and I just don't buy shit. But it's really weird when you go to like a convenience store, like a really small store, and you just walk around the aisles and then you just leave. And I did that twice, and I was just like, oh God, I feel gross. They probably think I stole something, or I don't know. Who cares what they think? Anyway, so I went out back into the parking lot, and this is where I'm coming back to how fat is too fat anyways. And let me tell you, there was like the fattest people I've ever seen in the parking lot in my life, okay? Mind you, I'm considered obese by the doctor that they gave me medication for the Rona. But when I was in this parking lot, dude, I saw this guy, he like walked out of his like Subaru station wagon. This guy must have been like 5'7", 400 pounds. And I was like, bro, how did you get that way? It's just insane for me to even like fathom that, because I know how much like shit I put into my body, and I'm like 230 pounds, not healthy at all. I'm fat. I'm obese for the according to the doctors. But this motherfucker, I'm like, dude, are you the reason why we have a buffalo roller shortage? Oh shit. But yeah, I was just like, dude, how does someone like eat themselves into like 400 pounds and they're like 5'7"? I don't know. Because I fully am aware how I got to this weight, 230. Because I've lost weight before. I got down to 185. I went up to like 280 before, and I'm like, I know how I got here, and how I got to the higher limits is just like eating fast food every single meal every day, getting whatever I want. But at like 230, I'm just kind of like, I'm just eating a lot of calories. They're not even good food. I'm just snacking a lot. But I'm like, this is like the limit. Like anything over like the amount I'm eating right now, it's basically I'm trying to torture myself. So I don't understand that. And it wasn't just him like that. It was a parking lot full of whales, dude. Like I was walking out just like, oh my God, there's like people walking in. Just a bunch of 400 people. There's at least like five people, not from the same vehicle. They're just like coming out of their different vehicles. They're just like all super fat, different genders and race. You know what I mean? They're like the fat mafia getting together to like, I don't know, to meet at a local 7-Eleven. Anyway, so why was I talking about this? I'm like, how fat is too fat anyways? Like I appreciate the doctors giving me these meds, because I have friends that didn't get the meds and they sound like they're getting destroyed over COVID. And this medicine is Paxlovid is kind of a miracle drug. Like at one dose, I think there's 10 doses, and one dose you're like 80% better. And then you might get COVID for a longer period of time. It might come back, but it doesn't feel as bad. So I think it's worth it. But then I can't help but be a little offended that my doctor gave me this medicine, because afterwards, recently, I found out that my uncle and my aunt got fucking COVID, and they're probably like deep in their 50s, maybe early 60s, but they're not fat, and because they're not fat, they didn't get the medicine, and I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't know why, but that offended me just a little bit. I was just like, all right, I might be like twice, maybe even 3 times bigger than these two, but I'm pretty sure I could like destroy them in any like Olympic trials or any athletic endeavor or race or contest. I would just murder them. Maybe not swimming because I can't swim, but like I'll probably destroy them in like a sprint, high jump, sports, basketball. I would destroy them fighting, dude. I would crush these 250-year-olds. But they're like, oh no, they're healthier than you, so we're not gonna give them medication. And I'm just like, I don't know why I'm more offended that they thought I was like in a worse shape than my uncle and my aunt, or that they just didn't give it to them because they're not 65 yet. I mean, they say there's a shortage, but who knows? It seems like they have a lot of this medication. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Now I feel a little offended, right? Not offended like, oh my God, you can't believe you call me fat. I am fat. I get it. But now I'm just like, fuck, dude, I need to lose weight. So if I ever get like AIDS or something, they won't give me medicine. That's what I want to lose weight, so the next time there's a pandemic, I don't get any medicine. That's what I want. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm too strong. They don't even want to give me medicine. They say I'm too strong. But that's not true. Anyway, so I guess the U.S. is now also in a recession, but not really, because okay, so typically a recession is any negative growth in GDP for 2 quarters for all the nerds out there. So we follow those metrics like we are in a recession. But recently, the Fed and Jerome Powell and I don't know, and did the Biden administration do this? I don't know. But shout out to Biden, also got COVID and also got the Paxlovid Rebound. Me and him are like, you know what I mean? Me and Hunter Biden, dude. Partying too hard, got his daddy sick. Anyway, so the government was like, hey, we're gonna change the definition of what a recession is, and they're just like, basically the new definition is whenever we decide to tell you it's a recession. So basically, we might never be in a recession again, guys. We could be living in what's the word I'm looking? We just live in luxury for the rest of our lives. Of course we know that shit ain't true, dude. Like, fucking oil's still fucking expensive. Even though the oil has been coming down recently, so I heard. I mean, I am been quarantined the last couple weeks, so I haven't gotten gas. But I heard oil's coming down, but everything else is still so stupid expensive. You know what I mean? Like, inflation is here, and inflation always leads to recession. Always. And the only thing you need to... Because here, this is what happens. When inflation happens, things get out of control. It gets too expensive. People stop spending, and then when they can't sell shit anymore, when the companies can't sell shit anymore, they have to start firing people, and that's when it's just a terrible cycle of people losing jobs. Things are expensive, but in the recession, hopefully things would get cheaper. So yeah, I mean, a recession might not be terrible for. I mean, a recession would be terrible for like very few people, dude. For a certain few people, like if you lose your jobs and lose your house and your family, like that's fucking terrible for you. But like if you have a stable job and it's not, it's not too bad actually. Which is a very dark and terrible thing to say, but it's true. Like I don't know, it's like a coin toss, dude. A recession hurts people that are low income the most, and also lower middle class the most. You know what I mean? And then when everything is cheaper, all assets, houses, and stocks are cheaper, people in the upper middle class and the rich people just buy up everything for cheap, and then when the economy picks up again, and they'll be even richer than before, and the poor people would be behind. They might get jobs again, but they savings are probably gone because of the recession. Anyway, what was I talking about? So, anyways, we're technically not in a recession according to the government, but listen, I just went to a KFC recently. I know I got COVID. It might be a drive-through KFC, or maybe I went in there myself and was like a terrorist about it. You guys will never know. Anyway, it was drive-through. Relax. I was wearing a mask. Okay, I still gotta eat, dog. Okay, I'm poor, dude. This recession, I can't afford to get Uber Eats. Okay, so I had to go out and get my own food through a drive-through at KFC. And I mean, you could tell us like we're not heading into a recession, but I'm like, bro. And you could tell me, and Biden could keep telling us like the economy's great, like so many people are employed. But I'm like, dude, inflation is out of control, and you can't lie to anybody about this. Okay, I was KFC and I got a 6-piece chicken tenders because I'm obese, and 6 piece of chicken tenders at KFC is apparently $15, dude. Like I didn't know I was eating at a Michelin star restaurant. Okay, fucking $15 for like tiny pieces of chicken strips. And I know, dude, they're like, whoa, why 6 pieces? You're fat. I'm like, yeah, I am, dude. Okay. And you know what? I'm also tired of people like saying things that they don't mean. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are like, oh, the portion size in America are so huge, blah, blah, blah. No, they're not, dude. You know how I know they're not? Because all these guys always go out and get dinners, and they don't not only get an entree, they get appetizers, they get desserts. Okay. Are the portions too big if you're getting 3 items per person, dude? Okay, relax. They're just fine. Anyway, these tenders are small, and I'm like, $15, man. What the fuck? I mean, I bought them anyways because I'm fat and I have the money to do so, so I did. But I'm like, yo, like a recession needs to happen, baby. Like I'm not trying to pay $15 for chicken tenders at KFC. Okay, this is fucking KFC, dude. It's not, like I said, we're not at like some, I don't know. Where's all the rich people like to go eat in LA, right? This is not Nobu, dude. This is not Nobu chicken tenders. This is KFC. All right, so chill out, man. Okay, maybe a couple people need to lose their jobs to bring down the price of chicken tenders. All right. Anyways, everything's more expensive. I think KFC is probably the worst. I'm gonna say the worst fast food out there. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, yo, how are you gonna charge $15 for chicken tenders, for 6 pieces of chicken tenders? Are you guys gonna be you're gonna be out of business if you weren't connected to Taco Bell, which is basically just slop, just liquid slop that people eat. I gotta say, McDonald's is still all time freaking best, dude. McDonald's is the best fast food restaurant out there, and they also raise prices, but they're not insane, dude. Okay, I got 20-piece nuggets for like $6. 2 McDoubles for like $3.50. It's still reasonable. It's not $2 for 2 McDoubles anymore, but come on, dude. It's not too bad, and it actually shows in their earnings report. I think I think they beat earnings this last quarter, but they missed on revenues. But dude, I was there on a Saturday at McDonald's, right? I was like 2 o'clock, not even rush hour. And let me tell you, dude, it was popping. Like there was like 20 cars in line just on a Tuesday, on a Saturday, dude, just out there getting fat, trying to get up to the 400 pounds, dude. I saw one of the saddest things ever in this McDonald's drive-thru. I was driving through, and then there was like a homeless person right at the end of the drive-thru. Like, so you pick up your food, and then, oh my gosh, I'm burping. Excuse me. I swear I haven't eaten anything yet. And right now it's like 1 o'clock. I'm fasting. Okay, maybe I'll go get some donuts after this. I don't know. Anyway, so I was so there's a homeless person with a sign like right by right at the end of the drive-through, right? It's just like super sad holding up a sign. And then if you don't know, if you've been to enough McDonald's drive-throughs like I have, you know that there's a garbage can at the end right before you exit. For you to like throw away your receipt or any trash you have, or probably from your last visit to McDonald's or Burger King, and you just have like trash in your car, just like ugh, just trash from last time, dude, just for you to throw it away. Anyway, this homeless guy was standing like right next to the trash can, right, and he was just like holding up a sign, and then this car like casually just drove up to him, and then they like rolled down the window. And then the homeless guy was like, "Oh, this guy's like, give me some money. It's so nice." And he was just like, he turned towards the window, and I swear to God, this guy just ignored him, dude. The car in front of me just fucking ignored him, and just started throwing trash into the trash. I didn't even say anything to this guy, and then they just like slowly rolled up their window and drove away. And I was just like, "Yo, dude, that is the most." That's one of the darkest and saddest things I've ever seen in my life, dude. And I was like, fuck. But I mean, I didn't even give them any money either, because I have COVID. I don't want to hand them cash to give them the Rona. I mean, the last thing a homeless person want to get is the Rona. You know what I mean? Like, it's probably the worst thing to ever happen to anybody is coronavirus, but it's still sad. And I gotta say, like, I don't even like when I see homeless people, I don't even read their signs anymore. I don't even know what it says. Like, they could have like a compelling story, like, oh, I just saved the baby, and then the baby sued me, for trying to touch the baby, and I lost all my fortune, I lost all my money, and now I can't get a job because I'm on Megan's Law, but I'm a good man, I have a kid to feed. All that, and I don't even look at the signs anymore. It's sad. It's sad the homeless people are kind of invisible to us, but I don't know how to fix it. We are giving like $1 billion, multi-billion-dollars to California to solve the homelessness issue. I think like we have enough money to give every homeless person $100,000. So like whatever these services are, like why don't we just give them money, dude? And sure, maybe some of them won't use them for like the right cause, you know what I mean? I mean the right reasons. They might take the 100K and just do like fentanyl. But it's up to them, dude. Just give them the money and let them do whatever they want with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like just, it's better than these like make believe services where you're like, yeah, we're gonna teach you job training and you're gonna be a seamstress. Like what? Why are you teaching homeless people to be seamstress right now in like 2022? In the U.S., you know what I mean? Anyway, what else I got here? Dude. I don't know, dude. What are you guys up to lately, dude? Are you guys hearing about Sri Lanka? This is an insane story, dude. Sri Lanka is basically in an economic collapse because their corrupt government basically told them to say like, hey, you guys can only use organic fertilizers now to farm and shit. And in Sri Lanka, like farming is like one of like their top exports, and because they're now forced to use organic, like all their shit is like cut back down by like their production is cut down by like 40%, right? And now there's like a lack of supply in grain. They have to, instead of feeding their own people with their supply, they have to import grain, and there's still not enough. So there's inflation. That's the secret sauce to destroying a country is inflation. So Sri Lanka is like, the price for grain is going up like 50% a day, and like you could just see their money, like their whatever their, I don't know what they use, their rupees are just getting destroyed every single day. Imagine like looking at your bank account and like let's say you have like $10,000 and tomorrow you only have $5,000. That's what the inflation in Sri Lanka is happening, dude. And I don't know what the government was thinking. Like the guy just fled. He fled and went to some fucking resort. Where are those places called with the overwater cabins for like $10,000 a night? I don't know. I forgot what it's called. But anyway, this guy just like destroyed his country and left, and just left the people there like suffering and dying and rioting. Because people are went to like the White House, or their version of the White House, and just eating his food and drinking his alcohol. It's kind of crazy. And like we know this shit is bad, right? And guess what Canada decides to do? Freaking Justin Trudeau sees what's happening in Sri Lanka, and he decides to tell the Canadian farmers, that they need to stop using fertilizers with nitrogen in it, because greenhouse gas, whatever bullshit. But guess what nitrogen does to fertilizer? Okay, nitrogen is like one of the most important active ingredients to help plants grow. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like maybe like 80 years ago, people were afraid like we won't be able to feed the world and people would go starving. And they're like, oh, you know what? You were just going to shoot nitrogen into the soil. And plants have been growing stronger than ever, dude. We just like took shit from the air and put it into the ground to make food for people. But no, Justin Trudeau, like, because we greenhouse gases, we're gonna make less food. We're gonna force people to use shittier fertilizers, so there'll be less food. Because of greenhouse gases. Like, I mean, like, what do you not know what's gonna happen next, homie? Like, you're gonna destroy like farmers' ability to like make money, right? They'll have lower crops, lower amount of crops available. They're gonna have to jack up prices. You know what I mean? The whole world is already facing inflation thanks to our connected society. And now what? And now you're gonna jack up prices and food prices even more for Canada, and then it's gonna trickle down to all the other countries. Like, what's the goal here, dude? Like, fine, dude, you want to live in a greener world, but people are starving and poor and living in destitution. Is that what you want? Is that what you want, Trudeau? I'm sure this has been like this since the beginning of time, but I think as I got older, like, politicians are all just like all terrible people, and there's all terrible people that just want power. I don't know what's going on. There's like no good politician, not from the right, not from the left. They're all just terrible. And I mean, is a recession really that bad? Okay, guys, when 9 out of 10 people are fat like me, freaking obese. Look at this. Maybe a recession won't hurt. I mean, we could afford to lose a couple pounds. You're like, oh my god, KFC's $15 for 6p tenders. That's what people probably hate me for even saying this shit. Like, if some kid saw this clip in Sri Lanka, they'll be like, dude, fuck you, dude. Like, chicken tenders are too expensive for you. Like, we could barely afford to eat, and we're thin as fuck, and you are 230 pounds and super fat. And there are way more people fatter than me too. So maybe a recession wouldn't hurt. I don't know. But that's the world, guys. Maybe in a recession we could lose some weight, we get stronger. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know where this world is heading to. I'm just gambling with my money still. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. I'm excited to be able to do this. I didn't think I would have so much fun talking in front of a mic. But this is what happens when you go through 2 weeks of not seeing anybody at all. You just hang out in a closet and talk into a camera, and hopefully some people will listen. But yeah, dude, thank you guys for listening. I have a show coming up this Friday, August 5th, San Francisco at Boozeland. Emperor Norton's. If you're following me on Instagram, it's in the link. It's on Eventbrite. Please show up. Show support to the other comics there. I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.